Senior Pastor, Daystar Christian Center, Lagos, Gabriel Obeje. Group Managing Director, Rain Oil Limited, Akinwande Ademosu. MD, CEO, Credit Direct Limited, Binta Binije, Financial Service Executive and Consultant, Olakunle Shorian, Founder, Kenneth Shorian Research Center, USA, Fela Dorotoye, CEO, Gemstone Group, and your host, Godwin and Sharon Ruberman, Lead Pastors, His Treasure House International Ministry, Abuja. It's time for a shift.
Because Pastor Peter is in the church, and this pastor can beat like this. PG can come out a bit. Now you go close. You don't need to shake much.
Media team, please can we make microphone available to the journal? Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to this press conference. It's a press conference to mark 10th anniversary of the East Treasure House. 10 years of impact, community impact, making a difference in the lives of people in our community. I'd like to introduce the ministers we have here this morning. To my right hand side, I have our lead pastor, the founder and the lead pastor of His Treasure House International Ministries, Pastor Godwin Uwuberman. He's here with us this morning. And we also have the privilege of having our co-lead pastor, Pastor Sheon Uwuberman, also here with us today. We have also, to my left-hand side, Pastor Obi Haga. She's the head of maturity team of His Treasure House International. And we also have the head of membership team, His Treasure House, Pastor Emmanuel Oyewole. So we'll all be here with you today. I think I should introduce myself too. I am Odenusi Bodipitas. I oversee pastoral care and church operations. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to receive the senior pastor now. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press, and also to all our viewers online right now, and every member of His Treasure House, both within Nigeria and outside our country. I want to welcome every one of you to this 10th year anniversary press conference of His Treasure House. It's something that makes us as a church feel very glad, because what started as an acorn seed by His grace has become an oak tree within 10 years. We are here today for this press conference, and I believe strongly that we'll be able to convey to us why His Treasure House has been what God told it to be. Let me start by telling you about His Treasure House as a church. 10 years ago, I used to pastor in Lagos under my leader, Pastor Sam Adeyemi, in his church, Daystar. And I left on in December, in October, before October 2010, to come to Abuja to start this assignment that God put in my heart. And when we came here, we gathered ourselves as a small community church in my bedroom, and we began to pray together with a few people I spoke to about the church then. And from 1 we go to 2, 3, and before you knew it, we became what we are today. And the church vision is to create a place where people can be the best that God has created them to be. Our scripture, our anchor scripture, is taken from 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 7, which says, we have these treasures in earthen vessel, so that the excellency of power may be of God and not of us. One of the things that really prompts me a lot is the fact that I feel every human being on earth was created by God for a purpose. Nobody is useless as long as you are a human being. And we place value on the content that God put in every human being, even if you don't look like the finished product yet. In His treasure house, our determination is to make sure you bring out the best in you. That's what we stand for. Apart from doing what regular churches do, we also focus on empowering our community and reaching out strategically to members of our community in different ways. And we hold different programs that empower the mind, empower the spirit, and empower the body of our people. My colleagues here will speak about that as we continue in this press conference. But one of them that really touches my heart is our enterprise development section or department, where we don't only just teach about the spiritual things. We use biblical principles that Jesus taught to help people start up their businesses, to run their businesses, execute their corporate identities as an organization. We've been doing that for almost 9 years, a year after we came into the city. At a point, we were almost doing it every Sunday morning between 7 and 8, just to help people to start up and be self-reliant. We believe that Jesus Christ came fundamentally to give us salvation for our spirit, but you'll notice it did not stop there. He went ahead to also take care of our bodies through healing, and also empowered our minds so that we can be productive and empowered to live a better life. All right. So one of those that comes very close to my heart is the Enterprise Development School, which I also run. And it has helped a lot of people who come into our church to start up businesses. If you come to our church, you see a lot of young people who run businesses, some of them as entrepreneurs, some of them as entrepreneurs. The whole idea is we just feel that nobody should sit down without doing anything. So if you ask an average treasure house member, what do you do? He will tell you, even if he's looking for a job, he will tell you that he's employed and he's doing things for himself. We do not permit people to just sit down in their homes. We challenge them to go out there and make needs, add value to life, because it's only when you add value to life that people will eventually pay you for it. So something happened in 2013 when I traveled to Lyon, France for the World Enterprise Forum. And in one of the group discussions, they were talking about how people discuss about entrepreneurship and so on, but yet a lot of people don't have the funds to kick off. In developed countries, it was stated there that they give people money to start up after teaching them, but we here, we don't really do it, maybe apart from the government. So I came back and I called some of my pastors and I said, you know what, it's not enough for us to continue teaching people. Some people don't have the money to start up. So we set up a fund, a foundation, where we came in collaboration with a bank. I won't call the name of the bank, but it's a community bank. About 7 years ago or 6 years ago, we collaborated with them, put some money, some millions of money into their account, and told them that they should go ahead and help us disburse it to people who we would send to them from church. Because the problem we had at the beginning when I started was that we give people money and we cannot monitor them sometimes because they did not use the money well. at the end of the day, they can't pay us back the money. They can't pay the money back to me, and they run away with the money and stuff like that. So that's why we decided that, look, let's do it as a corporate organization. Get a bank to be involved, drop the money with the bank, and tell the bank to disburse it and take care of it. What we now did was to tell the bank, instead of giving 10% interest to people, which your bank normally does, we told them our money should be given at 1% interest, and that's what they've been doing now for almost 6 years to different people who go there. You get seed money from between 50,000 to 200,000 to kick off your business or to stabilize your business. So those are the things that we have done to make sure we touch our communities. And I said earlier, we also do school fees, pay school fees for people, scholarship for people. As I said, my colleagues will speak about that as we go on. All right. The theme of this year's conference is called Shift. And that's why we are here today, to introduce that conference to every one of us watching today. The reason why we talked about it as Shift is because we feel that there is a new season that we have entered. So the byline of the conference is Shift, moving into the new. We feel that there's a new season that the world is entering, and as a community or as a city or as a state or a nation as Nigeria, we are also moving into the new. So God laid it in our hearts to teach people how to prepare themselves for the next phase of their life. For us, the next 10 years is going to be an extremely new thing that we are going to be going into. We are praying and asking God for clarity. We are praying and asking God for direction. And through this conference is going to lay the foundation of those things that we will desire that every one of us will be able to go through. So you can join us throughout. We have a lot of programs lined up for the next 7 days. But starting from this evening, we'll be having a meeting with pastors all around the world on our platform. And we'll just be there telling them about how to launch out, how to impact their communities, how we have been able to grow our church from where we were 10 years ago to what we are today, just to share our story with them. And it's a closed community, but you can register for it on the ministers chat room. It's not all by 6 p.m. Then on Wednesday, we'll be having our pre-conference prayer time, which will be handled by the lead pastor, Pastor Shion, my wife. It will be a very powerful prayer time from 6 to 7 p.m. on our social media handle, is Treasure House, both on YouTube and on Facebook, so you can join us. It's going to be a beautiful time. On Thursday, we'll be having 3 outreaches starting from Thursday. The first one will be we planned to do a medical outreach, the regular medical outreach we always do every year, but this year, because of the COVID-19 protocols, we felt it might not be the easiest thing for us to do. So what we decided to do this time is to collaborate with churches and with hospitals rather, especially hospitals within the outskirts of our community, where we have a lot of indigent people who can pay for their bills, who can pay for their drugs and stuff like that. So we've been talking to like some hospitals, especially medical people in our church, to go around, and we've been able to get 1 or 2 hospitals that we'll be going to on Thursday and Friday to go pay for their bills, pay for their medical bills, and pay for their drugs, pay for whatever we find out that they are unable to pay for. We are not going for the rich people. We just want to go for people, because we found out some medical people in the church told us that there are people who have been held captive in hospital for as low as 3,000 naira. And I never knew about that. That's why we had said we won't do the regular medical outreach. Let's go and pay the bills for these people who at this time could not or cannot pay for their bills. The second thing we'll be doing is that we're going to schools around us here, some public schools. They just resumed about a week or 2 ago. So we went to speak to their principals and their head masters. And one of the people, we told them, we asked them what was their major issue at this time, and they said the regular issue that they would always have is that many students may not come back to school because they cannot pay school fees. So we told them to give us a list, and we'll be paying school fees for almost between 50 and 100 students, because the list is still growing. But on Sunday, they will come to church so that we can hand them over the check for the students that will be paying school fees for. We just want to use those strategies at this time because of the COVID-19 protocol, so that we don't allow too many interactions physically. So those are the things that we will do in this season. Then on Saturday, that will be the major outreach we'll be having. That outreach will be to feed about 300 people and above. We give them raw food on that day, and we have a lot of them. Whenever a thing is coming up like that, we need to be careful, because by the time you just announce it, I've announced it here on Sunday, and we know this place will be crowded on Saturday evening, because they'll be coming from the north, south, east, west to come. But that's what we are ready for. Our church members have contributed so much towards it, so we'll be giving out foodstuff, canned food, and so on to different people who will be available here on Saturday evening. Thank you very much. I think with that, okay, the conference proper starts on Friday, and it's going to be a powerful time. We start with 2 sessions on Friday evening. I'll have an introductory session, then we have 2 sessions after that, back to back from 5:30 to about 8 p.m. So I want to ask that you hook up. It's going to be powerful. And we are planning also to have a live event here. It's supposed to be online all through, but we'll have a live event where we'll be streaming it on the screen here. So if you live around the community of Gudu, near the Akpo area, and you want to be part of it, and you can just walk into the church from 4:35. They all will be ready, so you can go ahead and watch with us. But if you are not wherever you are in the world, you can go online and join us for those 2 powerful sessions on Friday. On Saturday morning, we'll be having another 2 sessions from 9 to 11 and from 11:30 to 1. So it's going to be powerful. This year's event will have great speakers. Chief among them is my own mentor and pastor, Reverend Sam Adeyemi, of the senior pastor of Daystar Christian Center. He will be here taking one of the sessions. We also have Mr. Gabriel Ogbeche. Mr. Ogbeche is the Group MD CEO of Rain Oil, one of the leading downstream oil sector player in Nigeria. We also have Akiwande Ademusu, is the CEO of Credit Direct. We have Feladro Toye, one-time presidential aspirant of Nigeria, and the president of Gemstone. We have Olakunle Shorian, the president of the Olakure Shorian Company, a very dear friend of the house. We have Mrs. Binta Binije, a powerful woman of God, and also a very powerful financial consultant who will be teaching us on some basic financial principles in regards to family. Also, my wife, Pastor Shehu, will also be amongst the speakers, and myself will be here. I just want to use this opportunity to let you know that His Treasure House is here to make our lives, our community better, and we are using this 10th anniversary to do as much as we can do and bring God's grace even to everyone. Thank you very much. I'll cede the floor to my colleagues as they take over from here. But before any of them come up, I'd like to hand over to my darling wife, the co-senior pastor of His Treasure House, Pastor Shehu Uwobame, as she says some things about the conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press, and for everyone who is online this hour, we celebrate you. We are very excited. His Treasure House is 10 years old. It's been a real beautiful journey. In the last 10 years, God has been so awesome in our midst, and we cannot keep quiet about it. And I think that's why we're here, just to, blow the trumpet and make, Jesus famous among the world. God has been very awesome in our midst, and our senior pastor has also, taken time to speak about a lot of things that will be happening this weekend. And we use the opportunity one more time to invite you. Join us. It's an e-conference, and we'll be meeting online on our various platforms. And we also spoke about our outreaches. We have several outreaches to different spaces or different places and different people. I'll be talking about one of them again. It's about our feeding project. I mentioned a bit about that, and that's about our Skip a Meal. The Skip a Meal project started sometime about 3 years ago, and this was basically going to be directed towards the people around our community where church is situated that will need, this kind of help. And I tell you, the last 2 years has been awesome. We've been doing it every month, and several people have benefited from this initiative in the last few years. We see God doing greater things amongst us. We see bigger adventures even in this initiative, and we trust God that He will release all of the things that we need for it. Basically, this morning, I want to speak about the family life. Its treasure house is very strong on the family because we believe that the family is a very strong sector in creating a change in our world. If our families are right, then everything will work well. If we have good families, we will have good government. If we have good families, we will have, good, of course, good children, good men and women as citizens of the country. And you know what is happening around the world right now, especially in Nigeria. If we have families who have raised strong men and women, then it will also, show in our governments. Right now, we see a lot of issues with the government. We see how the youths have come out so strongly to speak to the issues that are on ground, and we are seeing them, so strong about their thoughts and the things that they want the government to do. We believe that very soon, this our country, Nigeria, is going to be the envy of nations. People will want to come to our nation. Even right now, we know the issues that are happening, but very soon, God is going to be turning around all of these things. So the family is a very strong sector in bringing to life beautiful things in our community and in our world. And that is why its treasure house is very strong on the family. So in the last 10 years, we've held several programs. We have seasoned counselors. We do not just want to release men and women out there to just go get married. And we don't start with the husband and wife or the couple alone. We start even from while you're young. We talk about total family life. So we speak to the children, we speak to the husband, we speak to the wives, and we've had several programs in this light to groom our children, to groom the men, and to groom the women. And this has shown in the kind of families that we've seen in the years that the Treasure House has been here. So we're grateful to God for these opportunities, and we have more programs in stock and in the pipeline, for the family life. Right now, we do premarital counseling. We will not just release a couple to get married without a solid foundation of a premarital counseling. And this has helped a lot. This has helped a lot. We've seen people come back and say, give thanks for of, trainings that they've gotten through the family life initiative in its treasure house. And also, we speak to the singles, we speak to the teenagers. Recently we had a program for the teenagers online, and it was a very awesome one. And several initiatives in the family life forum like that. We might not be able to highlight everything one after the other, but we are very strong on the family, and this has helped us in the last 10 years to build, we've spoken to over 15 or strengthened over 15,000 relationships. That's still on the counting. So we are grateful to God for this, and we believe that the next 10 years, greater works and many more, wonderful things will happen through the family life. A lot of families who would have been disintegrated today, they are strengthened, they are together. A lot of people who have even gone their ways, God has brought them back. And we have several testimonies in this area, and we are grateful to God for that. So this is one of the spheres of influence that we're strong on, and we do not joke with it at all. So if you are a part of the family, or you want to be a part of the family, you can be sure that in this area, you'll be very blessed. So at this point, I'm just going to give the mic or pass it to Pastor O or Pastor Peter.
All right, thank you, Ma. His Treasure House is a special church and then I'll be running us through some of the things we do that makes us unique. All right, we have a program we call Skill Acquisition Program. Okay, this is a program that empowers people, people who are not employed or people who are employed but they desire a second income. So it's a system that empowers them to learn one or two things. You want to learn fashion, you want to learn photography, you want to learn, we have done shoemaking, we have trained about 1,000 people, to acquire this skill. This is part of how we give back to the society. Also, there's another platform where Pastor feels it is not just enough for us to empower people in church. It's also good that as people do business out there, that they are empowered, they are trained to excel at what they do. So there's this platform Pastor has that is called Enterprise Hub. Okay, Enterprise Hub has been running for about 5 years, and then I have seen Pastor train people on business, entrepreneurship, mentoring, things that can help them not just to start up their businesses, but also to take it to another level, to expand their businesses. And I've seen it had so much value, especially to the youth of this nation. So it's part of the initiative of his treasure house to make this difference in the life of people. Then taking it back to church, we do not, like Pastor said, we have our first service that is dedicated to helping career professionals and entrepreneurs to be the best at what they do. So beyond that, we also think we should give them a platform. We call it business exhibition. We do it every year. Because we have a fairly large congregation, it's possible for you to worship in this church and not know what your friend does for a living. So there's this platform where on a Sunday we all come here, we talk about what we do for a living. So I get to know that you're a medical doctor. You get to know that I am into maybe building and all of that. And then those who have products come with their products. But I can bet you every time we have this business exhibition, people get to sell all the products they come with. They don't go back with it. So it's been fun. It's been awesome. So you get to sell all your products, and we pour in our resources into this to getting leaders to get better. Leaders beyond our church, in our community, whatever they are doing, they get better on this platform. All right? So these are some of the things we do as a church that has made a difference in our community. Like Pastor also mentioned, some of the leadership forums like Ministers Chat Room, we're going to be having this evening. We have people join from North America, people from Europe, people from other African countries. You'll be amazed. We have almost 1,000 leaders come to chat in the Ministers Chat Room, and it's been awesome. All right, so these are some of the avenues we have used to add value to our community, to people, to organizations, and then we are still counting our impact. Thank you. All right, at this point, I'd like to hand over to Pastor, the head of maturity team.
Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, the press. I'm so excited to be here and to talk about his treasure house and how far we have gone. It's been awesome these 10 years. I was there from the very day of inception, and it's been very powerful. We've had testimonies, powerful testimonies, and our testimonies, are of changed lives. We have testimonies of people who walked in here like nobody. But I tell you the truth, we have them doing great things all over the city, in fact, all over the world. We have seen God transform lives. We have seen God give hope to the hopeless. We have seen healings. We have seen deliverances from all manner of oppressions. And these have really given us confidence when you see the people live who came here hopeless but have now seen hope. We are very very excited. These 10 years, we have churned out a lot of people who have testimonies. And we are also, my pastor, Pastor Godwin, is big on mentoring. Mentoring, you know, he has this book, Discover Your Assignment, and because of that, we mentor a lot of people, young people who come into our midst. One of our core mandates is to help people to discover their purpose, discover their assignment, discover their mission for life. People who were confused, I tell you the truth, they have gained direction. People who lacked direction in life, they have been able to find meaning, they have been able to find purpose for their lives through this wonderful ministry. And we also have, you know, our vision. My pastor is big on vision. You know, one thing about Pastor Godwin, I'll say, is that if you're interested, you will be better. If you're interested, one of the things he tries to, you know, remove from us is laziness. Laziness. So he will put you online by mentoring you until you become. Until you become. So we are big on, you know, mentoring. We are also big on your vision for your life. You must have a vision for your life. Everyone that comes here must have a vision for your life. Where there is no vision, the Bible says, the people cast off restraints. So anyone who passes through his treasure house who have been through this ministry, you have gained a vision for their future. That's one of the things that we enjoy here. That's one of the things that I see in the youth these past 10 years. Even people who came in last year, 6 months ago, I see them doing very well. I remember one of our people who is doing very well now. When he came, he didn't have a job. And one of the things he learned from the entrepreneurial class that Pastor was teaching was volunteering. And he went and he volunteered. And right now, he's a millionaire. He's doing very well from volunteering. He learned, and from learning, he's also an employer of people. I just want to give God glory for his mercies. These 10 years, he has given us hope through, you know, building up these lives. And I thank God for Pastor Godwin and Pastor Sheung and the pastors of this church for all their support and all their, you know, selfless services to humanity. Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to take Pastor Emmanuel now.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Emmanuel, and I'm in charge of the membership team. When you hear membership, it's basically about care, welfare, and all of that. Welfare for our members, and indeed that of the humanity around our vicinity. If you put a meter against the heart of my senior pastor, Pastor Godwin Uwubamen, and his wife, what you will see, or the thing that you would pick from there, is concern, care, love for humanity and for the people around. And this has been demonstrated over the years, and I will roll out some of the things we've done as a demonstration of the care that is an habit of my senior pastors. First and foremost, in the spirit of what the noise around town about police and all, one of the things we've done over the years of existence of this church is to do police support. Most of the police stations and checkpoints around our vicinity in the past 10 years, the various locations we've been situated, we've given them food, we've given police reflector jackets, we've given them torchlights, books, and very many more. We've gone there to, you know, pray for them, and even in our location, we pray for them as our own way of supporting and upgrading their welfare so they could serve the citizenry better. Also, over the time, we've looked at communities around us, why we enjoy water, treated water and all. We realize that people around us, they don't even have the basic need of life, for example, like water. So we've been able to dig a borehole for certain communities around us. Even as I speak with you, arrangement is ongoing to commission another one by this weekend in commemoration of the 10th anniversary of this church. Also, we know that health is wealth. So every year we have what we call M500, where we go around, vicinities around us, and we organize a medical outreach. In this medical outreach, we target like 500 people to reach with drugs. We change their glasses, we give them mosquito nets, and we hand out food. Some of them are really not sick. As my pastor will say, that what's wrong with them is malaria, when they don't have money to buy food. So we distribute food again. Also at such occasion, we carry out tests, HIV tests, hepatitis tests, malaria tests, refractive tests for eye, and also we distribute drugs and give treatment for all these areas of test in case they prove positive. Also, we have learned from our Lord and Master Jesus Christ from the book of Matthew chapter 25, how he said that the way we can show concern to him is to show concern to humanity around us. So we always periodically, like quarterly, visit people in the prison, the major prisons in Abuja. We visited them, and we have a schedule to also visit them. When we go with toiletries, we go with food, and even some prisons, we go there. Each time we go, we are able to release certain repented inmates that just require certain amount to replace their term of prison lockdown. So these are things that we've been able to do. Also quarterly we visit motherless babies home, where we go also with supports like toiletries, food, and so on and so forth. And then we dedicate time to play with them, to show them that they are humans, to show them that they have people, they have support, and they are not alone like that. And also we have every Sunday when we come to church, we've been able to design a system. For like 10 years now, we've been doing that every Sunday. Apart from the special skipping meal that my lead pastor talked about, we also every Sunday distribute food to people that might not have hope of eating after they leave service every Sunday. So these are more we've been able to do. Also, we have education package in addition to what my pastor said earlier, that would be giving education award or kind of education support to people this week in commemoration of the 10th anniversary. Earlier before now, is what he said is not something new. Earlier before now, we've been doing it every time school is resuming, and we target back to school. We've been going to schools, we'll pay their school fees, we'll buy them bag that they will take to carry stuff to school, we'll buy them water bottles, we'll buy them books, we'll buy them eraser, pencil, and everything that they might need. Some of them are even ill. We take care of them. We'll give counseling to some of them, and we'll give counseling and support to their parents. So variously, this and more we've been able to do, but for time, just permit me to treat these as sufficient. Thank you. Maybe I should also add that one thing that happened around also the COVID period during the lockdown, we supported our members that were either fired from their offices. We supported people even around that are not even our church members. We roll out like a Google form that people that may need anything may be able to place their request on, and we were able to reach within the period of lockdown, immediate 1 or 2 months of COVID, we were able to reach about 500 people that would credit direct cash, and we took food to some houses during the COVID lockdown. So if you permit me, I will just go on and on to say the support we've been able to give
Wow.
to Impact. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Emmanuel. Thank you, Pastor Opi. Thank you, Pastor Peter. And of course, thank you, my dear wife, Pastor Sheung. This journey has been amazing with this set of people. We have other pastors, but they are not here right now because of other things that they are doing. And I will say this before I invite questions from the gentlemen and ladies of the press. This whole initiative that you've heard from my colleagues when we talk about our impact, not just the spiritual impact we have on people, but also our empowerment impact and also our comfort impact we have by distributing things that will help the necessity of the people, could not have been possible if not for the generous and sacrificial contribution of the members of his treasure house. I will say this any day, anytime. I am excited and proud to be a leader of these amazing sets of people who come in here week in, week out, contributing towards the vision that we have in making life better for so many people, bringing out the treasures in them. People who felt that they could never achieve anything, today they are proud that they did not commit. We have a lot of stories of people who wanted to commit suicide, but today they are owners of companies, doing things for themselves and also contributing to other needs of the people in our community. So I want to say thank you to every member of his treasure house, both within Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Thank you for being a part of this great vision, and I pray and hope that as we move on to the next phase, the next 10 years will be great for you. Fresh oil and grace will work for you. In Jesus' name, thank you. I hand over to the gentlemen and the ladies of the press. You can have your questions if you have questions. You need a mic? Do you have a mic or something? All right, you can go ahead. The mic is coming, please. Thank you.
Before I go about my question, I just want to comment on everything the church is doing. I've always believed that for a better Nigeria, we don't always have to wait for the government. Each individual has a role to play for the betterment of the country, and I really want to commend the church for what the church is doing. But then we must not turn a blind eye to what is going on in our country, the protest, the NSAS protest. It's obvious that it's actually moved from just police reform to good governance. The people are calling for good governance. So I just want to know what is the stand of the church in this regard. What is the church saying about this, about the whole protest in general?
All right. Thank you very much. I don't think this church has any other stance apart from the stance of people. Okay, beautiful. So that we can pick their question. The next question. Please, can we? Take the one of the enterprise.
So does this outreach also get people to them, and is it specifically for just Christians or everybody?
You're welcome. Any other question? Can we go ahead? Okay. All right. Someone asked about what our stand is as a church with regards to this opera or protest that we've been having in Nigeria in the last 12 days. I think it is, we have no stand apart from the stand that is the people's voice. The church was meant to be the voice of the people. So if for any reason the people decides to push their voice, because that's what every honest pastor have been praying for and asking. You can't be in a place, the Bible calls us the salt and the light of the world. The truth about it is that when the church sees injustice, when the church sees brutality, when the church sees impunity to wickedness, it must hurt the church. It pains us. That's what we preach every day, every week, every month. So for us to see the actualization where people are now saying, Pastor, you finished talking, now it's time for us to practicalize what you have said. It gladdens the heart of any true pastor that people are having this protest. What really makes us happy more is that they have been so organized and it has been so violent free. I mean, we know very well that people always take protest from one level to the other, but for 12 days these young men and women have stayed on course, stayed focused, have been able to say what they want in clear terms to the government. And as we always say, a listening government is the best government anybody can have. If I have a way to meet the president or the vice president right now, which I believe you guys are doing already, we will tell them, listen to the young people. These people feel strongly that you are their parents, you are their fathers. What do you do to your own physical children? When they agitate for anything, you tend to calm them down, you tend to explain to them, and you tend to find a way to deal with the issues that is making them feel uncomfortable. So I would advise that the authorities should take this pain that these young people have been venting in the last couple of days. You notice